And welcome everyone to the last day of tournaments for now. It's gonna be a whole lot more. Oh yeah. And we are back on Asia with the last day of the final stage. The room is already up. And this is our first matchup here. Great Viet versus Feast. We'll talk about that in a moment. I just want to talk about some other stuff. So first of all, if you want to receive some rewards, there's a reward stream. Fujit has it. So head over to the Wargaming portal and watch the stream there. Log in with your Asian account. But if you don't mind about the rewards, then you can just watch on YouTube, of course. If whether you watch him or myself is up to you. We also have two other commentators here who are Japanese and Chinese, I believe, if I remember correctly. So that is also something you can keep in mind. And yeah, let's just look at the brackets and all the games that happened yesterday and go through them quickly in case someone didn't see the streams yesterday and still wants to know. So we have Team ID here who had two teams in the top 8. That was day 1. And the main team, of course, advancing because they need to. We also got Act 1 and 101 AD here. Resulting in Act 1 losing. Feast here losing to Hasta La Vista. Quite tragically. And Great Viet here beating XR. Giving us the first 4 losing teams. And whoever lost out of these matchups would be out. Resulting in XR and Act 1 Team ID second team being the first ones to drop out. We then had these matches up here. Team ID beating 101 AD. And Great Viet beating Hasta La Vista, sending these two teams down into the losers bracket, encountering Act and Feast, which Act lost, but Feast won. And surprisingly, as Feast, the last 2 games they played against Hasta La Vista, they lost quite harshly, so it was a really good game for them. And we then had a very close but very interesting and exciting tiebreaker here, a Feast versus 101 AD, which went in Feast's victory. ID and Great Viet had also been playing, which was not quite a tiebreaker, but it went close to it in the best of 7 here, 4-2. And Team ID is now waiting. That game will be happening in about an hour. And the first match that we are seeing here is Great Viet versus Feast. Haven't seen that lineup in a bit. Both of these teams are very strong. It will be a best of 7, so there's no room for like, they got lucky, blah blah blah. Alright, we're now pretty much ready. Let's check the maps as well, just so that we are all in the same boat of information. And the matches here for Feast. We are on New Bay, not the greatest tournament map, but it is in same as Oasis Palms, which is lately been more played towards the A side due to the tank changes for the heavies. Alpenstadt, which is a really solid map if you can gain map control really well and then keep that. And Main Ruins here as a tiebreaker if we need it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to these matches. It will be the last streams of Asian tournament for a bit. I don't know about the autumn season if I'm going to be streaming Asia due to my apprenticeship starting next week. So and if we exclude today, 3 days on Monday starts. So yeah. That's all I really have to say, I think. Can't remember what else, so let's just stick with that. And look at the lineups now. Great Vet here have played this lineup before, but yesterday they took an Chrysler with double defender and 250 U's. Now there's no Chrysler, we have quintuple 250 U's, 2 defender MKs, and Feast with a more versatile and hold down working lineup is gonna be attempting to play against that. In their first match here of the best of 7 with a Knaven Chimera 301 250 Youth T32 in a double pack from Bifrost, NCX and Maddox in an 1122. And let's see what happens. Now we have seen Great Vet make good use, really good use of those defenders. Let's see if they can make it happen again against Feast. And let's get some air and see what will happen. Both teams here sending some tanks to the bridge. He's committing more to it. And Maddox here losing the first bit of hit points, and Tempted is in the city. Just making some spotting runs, but it hasn't encountered anything yet. And everyone apart from him is spotted here. And Great Vet with an instant knowledge lead. With Sercano and Oslo here holding that, and Dubstep gets double tapped, but also Daita, Yogain, loses some more hit points. And here comes the push from Feast. CX here going in first. Wants to take the hit points, but he's getting ignored here. And Sercano, the target to get focus here first for Feast. But they're not penning all of their shots here. Yogain is down to 17 hit points. Maddox there picks up the kill, but it's not looking all too good. They still have hit point lead. But they aren't in the best of situations here. CX and Trap are in not the greatest of outcomes. Tempted here can farm them from the back though, and Oslo he is down to a one shot. And is not able to put out another shot. Those two defenders are still alive. Dubstep there is very low. Just reloaded though and is not shooting. And gets picked up here. We now have a 5-on-4. And Feast is looking really good. If they can keep up the focus fire, Husker here needs to be focused by them first. Trap here will get picked up by RNGesus. And Maddox, can he pick up Husker? He can! And now it's Tempted versus Doha over there. But Doha is reloading. So Tempted gets yet another kill on those light tanks. And the focus here on RNGesus, definitely the one with lower hit points. Nice shot there from Maddox. And he needs to try to angle up, but it's not enough. Lecario picks up the kill here. The only 252 player for Feast. Makes his way forward. And Hom Kim here. Last one still standing, and Feast with a very strong start. Very good push, focus fires. For the most part on point. Bouncing some shots. And Tempted there. Gets the victory. And we end up with a 1-0 game here for Feast. Lecario and Tempted here. Usually the top damage dealers. Once again, proving me correctly. 4 kills here for the 301. Very, very strong performance. And excellent focus fire. Now if Feast can make a break for it and win yet another game on this map, then they would be down an entire map already. And even if they were to trade 1-1 on each map, they would in the end still win. So let's see what happens. It would also be really good for their momentum to win this game. So for Feast, Great Vet of course needs to try and stop that, not changing their lineup. We have seen that quite regularly here on Asia. that teams do not change their lineups all too much throughout the games. Well, within a map. Great Red here. Extending that premise and doing it for all maps with pretty much the same lineup. But it has worked. They got this far. In Feast here. Trapped now in a fake tank instead of a Carnarvon. The rest, I think, stayed the same. So not a lot of changes here. But he's potentially losing a lot of DPM here. Trap with that fake thing doesn't have a lot of a lot of hit points. So if he drops early, you would have wanted to have that Carnarvon with that precise gun, really quick reload and really high DPM. So let's hope it goes well for them and see what happens as we move to game number 2 on this map. Also, generally speaking, a tank destroyer does not fare all too well, especially one without a turret. Hit points here in favor of Great Red due to that tank destroyer not having all too many hit points in comparison to at least the mediums here that Doha and Dubstep are using. And it seems like Great Red here is committing full on to B, and all of those tanks have a speed boost. Now it does make sense for these autoloaders, but it does not make sense for a 252U. As the speed does not change enough to justify giving up a possible repair kit here. Or adrenaline, depending on what you choose. CX here trying to put in a shot. And Bifrost actually spots one tank only, and that is Sarkano. That is not great. They don't know if there's more of them there. They have gotten B as well. They will get C here. And Feast is a bit too much spread out here that if Great Red decides to make a push for it, it might be in a lot of trouble. Though from this position right here, it is very easy to come in and support. So Bifrost and Maddox here need to be very, very cautious, and Lecadio here already has backed off a bit to cover this corner over here. Maddox has now spotted 252U. And look at this. Nearly everyone is in this one sector on the minimap. In this one street. In one line. Don't think that's the best thing to do, but as they can play passively due to them having 2 camps. Let's just see if it works out. The call is to hold. And let's see if Tempted here is gonna make a move for it. He is the eyes and DPM for Feast. The main DPM, that is. And Maddox is now relocating. Has spotted one, but one only. As we can see right there, there's 3 more waiting behind him. And Maddox, he still does not see it. Needs to go a little bit higher here. He can do so thanks to the ammo profile of the WZ. But is he gonna risk it is the question. He only finds Oslo, the other 2 there quick to hide. Not getting spotted here. Maddox may be a bit overcommitting, but here comes the push from Feast. Nope. Maddox here completely wasting some hit points. Lecadio here. How did you get into B is the question that I think both myself and Great Red are asking. And now it's all about doing the damage here. And Great Red is aggressive. They're pushing onto Maddox here. They're overcommitting. Bifrost here is in the middle of everything. Maddox, he doesn't have a lot of support. He only has CX here, and that T32 doesn't have a lot of DPM nor penetration. And Tempted here, he's farming Doha. He needs to be careful though. He needs to save his hit points. Lecadio there. He wasted his average damage here. If he was more efficient, he would have had Tempted clear that. And they are pushing onto Trap and CX here. And they need to use their focus fire. Both of them not able to pen, and Tempted here coming in as well. Dubstep is on a reload, so they need to use that time they got. And Daita here coming in from the back, picks up the defender. Wasting a bit of shells here. I'm shooting on dead tanks. And Feast. It's a 4-on-4. They have 2 one-shots here. On the side of Great Viet though. There goes 1, there goes 2, and it's now just 4 against 2, but the hit points are in favor of Great Viet, but the points are not. And if they can focus well enough, this will be a victory for Feast here. Though of course Great Viet here still has a chance. Tempted can run. Trap should run. With 8 hit points here. And CX just there to buy time. Trap, he needs to get the hell out of there. And that's exactly what he's doing. Tempted, he stole another base. Making it even easier for Feast. Very risky maneuver here to go into the line of sight of that 252U. And CX there, wonderful play by him. Dakano here has given up. What seems to be the case. Maybe has disconnected as well. But this game is over. He is trying, but it's just too little too late. And Tempted and Trap here, who was very quick to realize that he should get away, has done so. And they win another game here. Very close. But very convincingly as well in the end. Playing just better. And GG. Winning by points here. Very good game. And Sakano and RNGesus here not able to do much. Bifrost and Maddox not doing the top damage, but that was not what they were supposed to do. They were just there to buy time, and it worked as we saw. And Feast there winning really nicely by points. And have made Great Viet drop an entire map. That is really good for momentum as we go over to Oasis Palms. And let's wait out. Great Viet here once again going with this lineup. Whilst Feast has taken an 11-22 here from Meta. Yet again, double T32. We will see that 252U Tempted back in his light. And we might see Kanab and Chimera here. I would not see a reason as to why you should not do that. So let's find out. Alright, we only have 15 seconds left. And we see a Progetto here and another T32 from Feast. And triple that. And no time to change anymore as we jump right into it. For game number 3 here, it's the second map, Oasis Palms. Used to be dominated by the desert. Long gone now, that meta is now the main focus is up top on A, at least when it comes to tournaments and coordinated plays. We see 3 T32s here for Feast that might really be the decider here. T32s can work wonders on this map if used correctly. Hit points here slightly in favor of Feast. And Doha here going in a tank destroying support position, whilst Dubstep is the one spotting, but so is Tempted. And Great Viet here is actually committing to the desert, and so is Feast. This is a matter I did not expect to see again. And Tempted, he finds a lot of heavy tanks already. and that was a really good scouting run. Immediately revealing a lot of positions here. And Feast will have an advantage here with their T-32s. They don't have a lot of penetration, but they are really strong in hold down. And in addition, with their reactive armor, can be an absolute pain to dig out. And Dubstep here, the first one to lose hit points. Feast making good use of spreading out in the desert. They have found footing here and have been aggressive. CX there getting penned by Husker. We see Doha there making a move, in fact. Gonna go and cap A, as it seems. Making cap pressure here on Feast. And the Progetto here being very, very passively. As we see now them entering A. Dubstep gonna back him up as well. And Feast here lost sight of Great Red here, who have drawn back their tanks quite far. Tempted he is making his way around. Maddox is spotted. I don't know from whom though. It might have been Sarkano, but it might have also just been one of the two defenders. And they are gonna just steal A. They have 3 tanks here, so they can't just get overrun that easily. And Great Red has most of their tanks in the desert. But there's 3 heavy tanks waiting, 2 of which are T-32s, so a push is not going to happen here. Tempted once again being very aggressively. And he gets punished for it, but Dubstep as well, he's really getting low here. And Great Red, they are committing to go back and up top here. And Feast, they need to make a move. They need to make this time and make this pincer maneuver here, and they are doing it. Great Red here relocating with everything they got, and Feast needs to punish them into the side now. They need to be going in aggressively. Whilst Great Red here slowly making their way towards A, but Feast very, very quick to react. Sending it back already, and Feast have gotten C here. But they still won't get ahead in points as they were a little bit slow with getting C here. Or A in fact, and stealing that. And not the aggression that they could have brought up here. But a good hit point lead, 1000 here. With one of their 2 DPM tanks being pretty crippled. Down to a 2-shot. And Tempted here making his spotting runs once again. Is getting unspotted here. Darn Jesus, he's not gonna outspot Tempted here unless he fires. And Maddox, he is making a move that is pretty often used in tournaments. It is to cover B and deny any spotting / capping from there. And Husker, he's having a shot on Maddox and he puts a big one into him. Right through the track here. And Maddox unable to connect. But it does give presence from Feast, and Great Red now knows that they are locked out of B. To a very big degree here. But Husker can stay unspotted while Maddox will be seen if he goes up too far. And Feast is still under pressure. They are just a tick behind in points. But they are picking up more and more damage here. Really good shot from Bifrost into Oslo. And a very passive play here. Very defensive line from Great Red. Only Husker being entirely out of it. So we would have this here, this first line of defense, and then a second line with fire support. And I think Tempted here, he needs to start doing a bit more spotting. Especially towards Husker here. And he's just spotting RNG's with his cupola. A very, very slow game. Cardio here as well, pretty much out of position, is now gonna relocate. And so is Bifrost, who might actually just push onto Husker here. He could just take this shallow route, stay unspotted for quite a long time. But he decides against it and is aggressive here, pushing onto him. And Great Vet here sees this. They are gonna make a move on B, whilst the rest of Feast is all pushing over. Maddox, he takes another front from Husker. And here comes Feast. They want Husker. And they want him dead. And he is gonna get in a lot of trouble here from these T-32s. Tempted here, making his way inwards. Is gonna take a huge shot there from RNG's. Maddox here getting focused as well, but he lives longer than Husker. And Oslo getting punished here. Down to a one-shot. There goes Oslo. And Tempted here, making some trouble on these defenders. But Doha and Depstop are able to pick him up here. It might be a big misplay and could provide a crucial loss here for Feast, who are making their way for B. They want those defenders. They don't care about the 252s. It's getting close on points. And the game is over. It's over in time. And Great Viet, because Feast let Tempted die. Because Tempted fell. They got back in point lead and won because the time ran out. What an absolutely close game that was. I did not even notice that. That was extremely close here from both teams. I don't think any changes here from any team, if I do see that correctly. Both teams going with the same lineup here. Beast, if they just paid maybe a bit more attention to the time, and so should have I, given that, could have won the game here. Tempted a bit too aggressive. They probably were more scared about the points instead of the time. Dropping Tempted there cost them the game. And I bet if they knew about the time, they would not have done that, as that was quite the misplay. But Great bit here with good patience. Really good patience. As we go into the second game here. On Oasis Palms, Great Viet able to stop Feast in their tracks for now. Let's see if they can continue this trend, or if Feast is able to break out of it again. In this best of 7 here. It's currently 2-1 in favor of Feast. We are on our second map. After Feast won both matches on New Bay. Great Viet here picking up the first on Oasis Palms. As we see Dubstep here making his way forward in the desert. The spot. Not going too far though, not gonna overcommit to an extreme ascent. And so is Tempted here, he has only seen one tank. And if he were to peek over again, he would see more, and there is Oslo. And there's 2 more. And Tempted here finds the heavy tanks. Daita needs to get away. Got spotted here and he cannot take that hold down fight. And Great Viet here arguably in a better position, as this side does provide a better cover for hold downing. Not so much this flank here. But it is less spread out, and Doha here takes 2. Got spotted and took double from the T-32s. Really good reaction there from them. And Tempted is now in A. He's gonna get that uncontested as well. Is making his way back. Hit points here are in favor of Feast for now. And only Maddox being the one who lost some hit points. And it seems like Great Viet is doing a rotation here. The first one to do one and sending 3 252Us back towards A. We have the defenders here patiently waiting behind this dune. And we also have Oslo here rotating around. And the other and the 5th 252U here doing the same. Not sure if Feast is able to gain enough information here from just that movement from Oslo to know what they're doing here. Maybe Tempted will be the one detecting it. It needs to be someone, and if it is someone, it should be Tempted here, the one furthest forward. But he does not see Dubstep. There we go, he has spotted him now. And he's moving backwards, but is he gonna see the rest of it? He currently doesn't. And this might be of huge trouble here for Feast. They don't know how many are up here, and in fact it's everyone. Could really provide a vital strike here that Great Viet needs to win this game, but Feast is not slacking off either. They have sent some tanks up. And they are stealing A right now. Bifrost here maybe overcommitting a bit too much just to reset here. As he gets tracked out in position here from Doha. And Great Viet here is gonna push on those T-32s here. And there's not a lot of support. Feast needs to make a really quick breakthrough here through the middle. And focus fire as CX and Bifrost won't stand for long. Trap here needs to use his hit points as well. He needs to go in there. And Dubstep is already out of the fight, and Doha here. Feast making a run for it. CX here does not care. They do want those defenders, the only DPM that Great Viet has. And they are able to focus them down single-handedly. Bifrost here. The first one to drop for Feast, and Trap is very low as well. We'll get double tapped here next, but the first 252U from Great Viet here falls. And Feast in control. They have Great Viet here cornered between them on two sides. Arguably free with Maddox right in the middle. And an absolute wonderful display of focus fire. Great targeting. And just pincering your enemies. What a wonderful display here from Feast. And they are gonna pick up their third victory here. And look at that Yogan. He does not care. Helping out CX here. Gonna pick up that 252U. And now it's just left all to Maddox. And the others to kill the tanks here. And he's still alive. Can they keep Maddox alive though is the question. As Tempted here makes his way in. Great Viet here with a massive defeat on their side. And Daita is gonna pick up the shot here to end the game. And what a game here from Feast. Really a very good tactical display. Not having the knowledge of how many went over, or even that any tank went there up top. Still managed to work out for them though. And Feast is in control of this matchup. They're now up and on match point here. Only need to get one more victory. And this game is already over. Great Viet here. Arguably a bit behind with not changing their lineup whatsoever. Playing very predictable towards Feast here. Who have shown a very masterful display today already. In game sense, knowledge and strategy. Picking their games apart here. Only winning to the time, which is of course still the factor in Great Red there. Stealing a game from Feast. And we now make our way up to Alpenstadt. We have once again the 1122 from Maddox Trap here switching back to his fake tank. We see double T32, 250U, and then Progetto. 3-1 combination here once again from Tempted and Daita. And let's see what happens here as we enter the game in 20 seconds. This might be the last one of this group or matchup here. Team ID is waiting for the winner of this matchup right here. This game decides who will be third place and who will have a chance for the top spot. Feast here dropping out in the first round, slaughtering their way through the losers bracket here in a really good chance to pick up yet another victory. They have the momentum going on their side. And let's see if they are able to win yet another game here. As we move to Alpenstadt, the third map of this match. With a bit of an HP deficit here on the side of Feast. Due to that fake tank and light medium combination. And let's see what happens here. We see a lot of speed boosts once again from Great Red Doha here. Instantly going up, and so is Tempted here. Going very aggressive, and surprisingly enough, Feast here fully committing to the open area. And Great Red, to a greater extent, doing so as well. Sent some tanks to the city though. And we've quite the tank spotted here already. Maddox in an interesting position if you consider the position he is countering. C will get capped here. Completely uncontested there from Dubstep. And a good shot here from Tempted. Taking the first bit of hit points away in the cardio here. He's just waiting for Doha. But even Great Red here is waiting around the other corner for someone to make a mistake. Bifrost here. Great shot from the cardio. And he did wait and had the patience. Bifrost here spotting Oslo. And getting spotted back. And Feast here very aggressive up top. I'm not sure what the plan here is. But the Progetto got punished. This was not a successful result. And Great Red here overly aggressive on B. They want to get Bifrost here. And he is getting pushed upon by 3 tanks. But Great Red have bled quite some hit points for this push here. And Feast is counter pushing. They have committed 3 tanks onto 1 here. That means that Feast has a big tank advantage when it comes to numbers here. But Tempted is getting focused. The one with DPM and the target here are those defenders. Bifrost has fallen. But there goes Tempted as well. This is really reckless from him. And Dubstep there is pushing onto Trap. And he needs to be aggressive here. And Feast here not looking all too good no more. With Tempted there being very, very reckless. They have picked up yet another tank. The gun advantage is now no more on Licario here. He wants Husker. And he gets him and he burns him as well. But he stays alive. On 30 hit points here. And he will fall to those 3 tanks right here in front of him. And it is 4. Licario is out. And Dubstep is still alive. He was way too long here. For Feast's own good. And CX they're able to avoid losing any more hit points. We have 4 252Us versus a Progetto T32, 1122 and a fake tank here. Versatility on the side of Feast. But hit points on the side of Great Red here, though they are out positioned. And Maddox here, very risky. He stole A. Or not stole it, but he got it for free. Just drawing away here. He has no backup that is ready to fire here. And Oslo gonna steal that, and our Jesus is still full HP here. Very troublesome for Feast. And Home Kim here getting focused from CX. Maddox in a lot of trouble. As Yoga in here, he's gonna pick up Huskar. And he needs to as well. Home Kim here. He's gonna pick up CX. There's no doubt about it. And Trap as well as the Predator here are split apart. Nice pickup there. On the 252U. But Trap goes down. And it's just him left. He has no caps. And is in a 1v2. And Great Bet is gonna pick up a victory here. As they have 2 caps, 900 points already. Just all about how long does it take for them to win. And Feast here. Not able to react quick enough. Taking super long to kill Dubstep here. Unnecessarily long. In a way. And tempted there. He was too reckless. Overly aggressive. And maybe a bit overconfident as well. Throwing his life away. One of the only DPM tanks that Feast had. It was just not gonna happen here. And it shouldn't have as well. Absolutely. Can't understand what Tempted was thinking there. I hope he will learn from that mistake. And Great Bet here wins another game. If they can win one more, we will go to tiebreaker. So Feast, to not go under pressure, need to win this game now. They should have won the last one. But this is even more crucial. Moving out the fake tank, getting a T-32 here, gives back hit points and armor. And a turret. As the rest of the tanks are unchanged. 30 seconds left here. Great Bet 2 points. Feast 3 points are on match point here as well. And this is getting very close indeed. And Great Bet here not going down without a fight. He definitely did really build on the mistakes of their enemies. Also a skill that you need in this game. And they did it really well. And we move into our last game on Alpenstadt. And our at maximum second to last game of this matchup here. Hit point lead for Feast by 200. So it is one shot to change it all. And Great Bet here sending the defenders once again into the open area. And splitting their heavies apart. Bit of a slow start here. And Doha losing some hit points already. Tempted here in a troublesome situation. Needs to get away. Is he getting away safely is the question, and he will. Defrost here. These two 32s already spotted. Not the best result for Feast. As they are in A. And good shot here from Licarius. Using HE to reset. And also Trap, he has an angle. Put shots onto those 252Us here. But aren't able to reload quick enough. And this camp will go to against Feast. Who have committed 3 tanks here up north onto C. Now Great Bet doesn't know this. They only know one is here, and it's Maddox as well. One of the slowest in the team. They have spotted Tempted as well now. They could try to break through here and push on to Feast, but they have very dug in here with their T-32, so that is a very smart decision to make. Oslo here relocating. As we see both teams play quite carefully. Maddox here. Gonna hold C. And both Rossetto and the 301 are relocating back around. And CX is spotted in the middle now at B. And those two defenders here are relocating themselves now. Great Viet making some preparations here for C. And Feast actually rotating a bit around here. There two mobile tanks definitely are in the ability to do so, and Maddox, he has spotted that 252 coming from him, and he knows he's not alone. And there's a lot from Great Viet here coming for him. In fact, everyone is on their way. It's just, is Feast able to act quick enough? Maddox, they're unable to put out a shot here. And he is gonna fall for absolutely nothing here other than information. Feast not able to work on this. And did no damage in that fall of Maddox here. And aren't in the best position either. CX here completely out of place. Will completely get focused here and shut down very quickly. And Great Viet here now have two caps. And Feast, they need to start focus firing the right tanks. They're spreading their damage way too far across all 7 tanks here. And Feast trying to go around here. But it's not working out. They lost yet another tank here. Hit points are still workable, but they are down 2 tanks. And it's not looking good with their focus fire. They're spreading out way too far here. And the Progetto being overly aggressive. Tempted here is gonna get pushed by Dubstep. And only Oslo here starting to go low on the side of Great Viet here. But no one is there to pick him up. Lecario here, he has to make the run for it. Trap is out already. And Doha the first to fall on the side of Great Viet. RNG's is going down, Oslo is going down, but the hit points are there for Great Viet. And Feast giving this game away in an unnecessary fashion here. This could have been their victory, or at least a better chance for one. But they have been too passive, too spread out, and not focus firing well enough. And Great Viet here with the comeback and bringing it to tiebreaker. Feast definitely falling apart here at this point. And a good, really good game here from Great Viet. Solid push. And Feast just not reacting in the way they should have. Maddox there. Going down for nothing. Really not what should have happened here at this point. The mentality here. Not sure how strong it is on the side of Feast. But Great Viet is having the momentum here going into tiebreaker on Mayan Runes. With once again their standard lineup has not changed at all today. And Feast going with two T32s, a 252U, an 1122, and a fake tank. As well as Tempted in his light. And Yoga in his Progetto. And whoever loses here will be out and get 3rd place in this tournament. And the rewards for 3rd place aren't shown here. And not are they here either. Okay, never mind then. But let's focus on the game. We see a Chimera here instead of a Progetto. Let's see if that will work out for them as we enter our last game of this matchup here. Great Red versus Feast. Feast in control in the start, but giving back and out games here. Feeding them to Great Red. Games that could have been theirs. Games that should have been theirs. But just not picking them up here. We have to enter this match here. The tiebreaker to see who will come out on top. Will it be Feast or Great Red here? And we see an interesting diversion here. Sending one heavy tank down. 4 to the middle. Tempted here in an interesting approach. Does not spot anyone on his way. And is taking one for it. But Yogain is there as well and he doesn't connect his shot. Attempted there, able to put one in for him. Yogain here already putting in his reactive armor. Might have been a bit too early here as he's not getting pushed just yet. Maddox here crossing a little bit too recklessly in his 1122. And everyone is up top. But the initial hit point rate here way in favor of Great Red here. Feast bleeding so much on 5 tanks already. And Iron Jesus here is being very aggressive. And Feast they are spread out too much here. They also have a tank destroyer that they aren't able to use in this close quarters fight here. And Oslo just pushing in Bifrost here is very low. And Feast is not reacting quick enough. They need to go in. Bifrost is out. Licario here is gonna drop to those defenders. And Feast is taking too long. Chasing down a 252U here. Out of the fight for way too long. Trap not able to pick up the kill here. Tempted. Ending up doing that himself. And Maddox here in a lot of trouble. He will get picked up by Oslo. There's no way that he will get away from here. Oslo bouncing his shot. But Feast absolutely crumbling here. Tempted is out. And as again, they are spread out too much. 1 tank back there, 2 up here and 1 down there. Not something you see often from a team like this. And Great Red here excellently taking advantage of the misplays here made by Feast. Once again, too passive to push. Ends up costing the game here. And taking too long. To get to the enemy here. That 252U. Buying an immense amount of time. Way more than it should have ever done. And an absolutely astonishing performance here. For Great Red. Winning this game. And I'm gonna go into the final stage here. And Feast losing 3 times in a row. They have given up on this game. On multiple occasions. Those victories here are from Great Red. Winning 3 times in a row. And that just should not have happened. They were up 3-1, ending up losing it. And that was... I really do like Feast, but that was not what Feast is like. That was not a good. It really wasn't. And Feast here, they take 3rd place. damn it. And we will now see the finals here. Team ID versus Great Red once again. We have seen that matchup before, which was yesterday. 4-2. We have no similar maps here. No maps that are the same. What a performance here, Great Red. Really coming back from that deficit. And Feast giving it away. Start at 10, that is in 20 minutes. So I have time for some replays. So let's just go ahead and do exactly that. We have shown this one, we have shown all of these. Show the Action X one here. 5 minutes long, let's go ahead and do that. I don't usually do that, but I would like to know, what do you guys think about the last 3 games that Feast gave away like that? I do not want to hate on Feast, don't get me wrong. Feast are amazing, the players as well. Great players. And really nice to talk to as well. But they just gave that away like that. I just don't understand how that happened. Was it the mentality? Was the morale too low? Was it the momentum that carried Great Red? I don't know. I'm just disappointed in a sense. Even though those were great games. I just did not expect Feast to crumble like that in the end. As 24/7 just said in chat, it was a joke at the end. Not sure what happened in those last 3 games. It is indeed a well-deserved victory, they did fight for it. But it just seems like Feast gave up in the end. No coordination, no focus fire, spreading out immensely. And if you followed me throughout the Ascents, like these last 4 weeks, then you will, we have followed Feast constantly, and this did not really happen. And this game might have already had ended if they had paid attention to the time on Oasis Palms. Maybe tempted there, not rushing in like that. Would have won them the game. That would have been over right there. But it got prolonged by 4 more matches or 3. I don't know. Maybe 4. Yeah, it's 4. That cap there. Why are you capping? For what? It's not even close. Half hit points here for the action. Just going now. It's starting to get close again here. Surprisingly. Oh, I'm so disappointed with those last games. I'm sorry, it's just... I just don't know what happened. I would like to know what happened. Just don't know if I'm gonna get that information. This is not a good situation right now to be in. Come on. Hit the Amarok, that is very good. We got pendant. He's not resorted to firing premium rounds at all. Look at that. He's still 8 and 8 HE. He's not fired a single premium round so far. And now that he has none else left, he ran out of AP entirely. 5.5k damage. 34 shots fired, all of which were AP. No premium span, just well aimed. Nice job. Now, we just need to have that last game, and because I have really nothing to really say, I would like to ask you guys in chat to, before the first game happens, give me your, oh no, I'm not gonna do it now, but remember, don't do it now, but what I want from you is to make guesses and make a bet as to how the next matchup is gonna turn out between Great Red and Team ID. Who will win and who will lose, and to what exact score it will happen. And those who do get the right score, even if it's multiple people, will get the rare Smarty roll on my Discord server. How about that? Let's make it a little game. Let's play a game. Hello to everyone. Hey Layla. So, once I get the room invite, and we are in the room, I want you to put guesses in the chat as to how the result is gonna pan out. Not now. If you do, you're getting a timeout. Doc, are you retarded? I have to hold this now. Oh my god. Alright, there we go. Man, he just completely messed up my brain with this stupid camera flipping. Ugh, my head spinning. Alright, let me quickly check something. Oh, we're gonna lag now because I'm checking it. Ah, finally! I got the email I was waiting for. Alright. Yeah, indeed. Well played to Great Beard. I don't want to take it away from them. I don't. But Feast could have played this way better. Oh, dark. What was that? There we go. That's more like it. I love how the clan tag of that mouse is NSA and he's stupidly fail tuning. GG. Just the E100 left. Alright. Don't think he's gonna get any more here. Maybe get the kill? HE? Ah, he did. 4 kills. 5.4k. Getting an AC. Probably due to not camping. And the 4 kills really helping out. Oh, is the fight already there? No. By the way, you know what is absolutely hilarious? I watched Wargaming stream yesterday with Doodles, right? They had this as well, and Tony was clicking the entire time and nothing happened. It was so funny. It was just so funny. Sorry, it was hilarious. No, Daniel, it's a best of 7, the final. Yep, it's best of 7. It's the same amount of maps. Alright. Not gonna go into another game, we're just gonna wait. Alright, I'm just waiting for the invite. We're getting it in some minutes. Seconds, not minutes. Face now. Accepted yesterday. Alright. Let's prepare for the invite to arrive. There we go. Alright, so we have Great Viet versus Team ID. Best of 7. These are our maps. I'm just gonna show them again. Canyon, Winter Malinovka, Middleburg, Canal as tiebreaker. And now I want you guys to give me your expectations to what this result will be in the chat, like 4-3 for one team or 4-0 for another. You know, what do you think this result will be? Those who get it on point in result and team will get a rare Smarty roll on my Discord server. I will only have you vote during these 5 minutes. Every message afterwards does not count. So I will not look on the clock. When it hits 15 for me in chat, that means everything is over in terms of the voting. As the match starts at 10. For me, for you at 15 due to delay. So yeah, give your guesses in chat. If you are in point, you get a roll. I will confirm that at the end of the stream. Alright. We have our lineups ready. Great Viet here not changing anything as we go on to Great Viet. Onto as we go on to Canyon here. And Team ID here. Playing with quadruple 252, double T32, and 1 301 most likely. Let's see what happens. Also, something I'd like to mention, you only have one guess, and it will be your first in the chat. If you write multiple answers, I'm just gonna disqualify you entirely from getting a roll from that. So, keep that in mind. Alright. One minute left here. We have had both teams play before, yesterday. Did not go well for Great Viet, losing to Team ID 4-2. And now they have their second chance to win a game here and come first in this Tier 8 Summer Season Championship of 2020. And I am looking forward to it. Great Viet here, definitely with the DPM, with those defenders. But Team ID with more versatility with those T32s. And the Scout. ID has really good Scout player, as we've seen before. let's jump right into it. Into our first match of this best of 7. Team ID versus Great Viet. Red points here in favor of Team ID as they have an additional heavy tank. And let's see. Is Great Red able to keep up their winning streak from the games before, or will Team ID be shutting them down? It's all that time will tell. IDSC going for C. And is gonna cap it uncontested. There's no one that is gonna catch up to him here. Kampon making his way towards the middle. The first one to be there. We'll spot a couple of tanks here. And Great Viet here very aggressively with their defenders on A here. Doha and Dubstep already there. Kampon here on B. A has been capped. IDS has yet to cap A C, which is surprising. Thought he had capped that already, or at least should have. Oslo here bouncing that shot. And C has been capped, and Kampon here, he's really trying to cap B. And bounces each other here. Nice choice of HE here, definitely. Smart thing to do in Radioactive here in a very, very dangerous position. If Great Red decides to peek here, he will get punched in the side. But he's able to help out Kampon here for the time being. Takes one though. Husker. Is he able to put one in as well? He's aiming. He does not get the angle, and he nearly was able to cap B. But it's not just happening. And Team ID is pushing over A here with Plody and everyone else. And Radioactive is losing more hit points. But also Great Viet here has bled a lot, and what a snapshot here from Lani. And they were able to get B. And Great Viet is greatly split here. Some tanks in the middle, some running away, and 2 on the other flank. Team ID here has the same issue, but are able to help each other more here. Hong here getting focused first. And Kampon here shielding Radioactive nicely, but RNGesus is coming in from behind. And he's getting targeted as well, and there goes the first. IDS here getting hunted by the defenders. But it's not gonna change much. There's a 3000 HP difference here. 2 tanks already down for Great Viet here. IDS still alive and running. Kampon here going straight in as a distraction. IDS drops. But so does Sarkano there. And this is gonna be ID's game here. They have the hit points, they have the tanks, and all 3 caps on their side. There must be a miracle and some Amorex to happen here in order to lose this match. And both of these teams are very good, so miracles will not happen here. Husker on fire for a short moment. Picks up Radioactive here. And ID has to hustle a little bit here. Struggling to pick up the kills, but the game is over. And Team ID winning the first game here. On Canyon. Alright, so our lineups are ready. No changes here other than Radioactive switching from a T32 to a Chimera. The only one really who ever switches in Team ID's team / lineup. Alright, voting has ended. Well, not voting, but the guessing for how the game is gonna turn out. Now let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some great games that I can watch for free. I mean, I have to give my commentary for it, but you know what? I don't care. I get to see great games, right? It is totally worth it. And we jump into game number 2 here. Great Viet versus Team ID, who is leading right now 1-0 with a very strong start. I wouldn't say the A push decided it, but it was a big factor in Great Viet's downfall, in a sense. As it basically resulted in the defenders having to rotate, being out of the fight for a bit, and giving Team ID the upper hand here. And we see Doha here, this time going for the middle. No move on A. And IDS here is gonna go on A instead. And he's gonna spot some tanks, but gets spotted himself. He might take shots crossing. Nope, he gets in safely. But Dubstep is on his way, but can't go any further here without getting punished heavily. IDS then nearly getting reset. Oh! No! He didn't cap! He did not cap the base. IDS left a moment too early. Giving up on that base. Kampon here 1v3ing currently, if you include Huang. B got capped. A is in control of Great Viet, and they have made some really good moves here. And gained a lot of map control here. And ID is bleeding a lot right now. Lani possibly a little bit too aggressive here. And IDS going in as well. Everyone on the side of Team ID here spotted. And RNGs is here the first one to fall, but the hit points are still looking close here. And everyone from Great Viet here is turning around. Turning their backs to ID. Giving them the focus fire and the cross shots they needed. And Team ID might be able to just turn this around here, but Kampon is getting focused. Linked picks up Doha. Only leaving Dubstep here with DPM behind, but Haska drops as well. And this is really not looking good anymore for Great Viet. Dubstep bouncing twice on the butt there. And has to reload. He goes for a reload instead of killing him. Giving Sarkano a wasted shot here and wasting his time, and he does not penetrate either. What a huge misplay here from Dubstep. The game was not over yet, but he basically sealed the deal here with his misplay. Not picking up that kill shot, bouncing twice on the butt and then reloading. Resulting in a lot of time wasted and another shot here from Sarkano. And Team ID will pick up yet another victory here. IDS coming in with his light tank, still alive here. And a very big misplay there. And an interesting miss from Game, who was on fire. Radioactive here, not able to pen all of his shots. Has penned at least 3 that I have seen. And Team ID here makes a break for it. They win the first 2 matches here on Canyon. And do have the momentum on their side here. Really good games so far from Team ID, and Great Viet not able to respond whatsoever. Are getting shut down each and every time. I'm not sure how Great Viet here will be able to get ID to stop in their tracks. Because They are in a really good momentum right now. No changes here as we move on to Winter Malinovka. A map that plays a lot with map control similarly to Alpenstadt, as it has a lot of cross-firing angles. And if you can control those, then you're really good to go. And let's see if either of those teams will be able to do so, or if we just will see a head-on clash and fighting it out. But we have to wait another 30 seconds until we can find out how the teams are gonna play on this map right here. But Great Vet here absolutely not gonna give up on their lineup. And let's see what happens in the following matches here. As we jump into map number 2 here, the third match, a battle of this matchup. Team ID here so far leading 2-0. And are looking very strong right now. Strategically shutting down Great Vet in all possibilities they have. Getting a bit close, but a big misplay from Great Vet there to rotate around with everything they got, causing them to lose the game. And Team ID definitely picking up on that, not gonna let that go to waste. As we get some air and see what will happen here in game number 3. Dubstep already spotted IDS here very quick. Dropping down to not get blind shotted as well. And the main lineup here is going up towards B. Game here, very aggressive, takes a shot from Oslo. And look at that. Great Vet here being very aggressive. Doha in the cap, Dubstep aggressive. And Great Vet sending two 252s here to B ramp. Don't have the best hold down capabilities as they don't have that much gun depression, which you need in this spot. But let's see what happens here. Game losing more hit points and even Plody here. And a good start so far from Great Vet. Game here, he's unnecessarily losing hit points. Great Vet is abusing it and was a miss, I think. Game here, he's peeking out too much. And he still has not capped B. He is too over aggressive. Showing his tank too often. And Team ID here now making a move for it as Game got pushed. Plody here in a lot of trouble. And Team ID all over the place with their focus fire and their lineups. Ho and Kim here getting focused, but Plody goes down. 2 tanks down for Team ID here, and the first one dropping on the side of Great Vet. Hit points looking really good for them. It's all about maintaining the hit points, keeping the focus fire together, and someone killing that radioactive there. Doha able to do the job. And Iron Jesus here looking very low on hit points. Will get picked up by Lani though. And this is not looking good here. IDS getting picked up by Doha. And this game is sealed. Great Vet is gonna win this match. And a really strong comeback here from Great Vet. Linked burning. Dubstep here is gonna pick up that kill. And then it's just Lani left with his 252U. And this game is over. Hello to the Feast boys in the chat. Great bit here. Able to pick up their first victory, stopping Team ID in their tracks. Hey, I've got all rewards watching through the stream. That is amazing. Had it open on my phone. Alright. And Team ID here. And play as recklessly as they did in this game right here. Especially Game there. Just way too overly aggressive on B. Peeking when he doesn't need to. Not finishing capping B when he needs to. Because he keeps getting reset due to moving out over and over again. Absolutely unnecessary misplays here. From both teams. Lineups are still the same. And Team ID here. Got stop. Of course, are gonna try and pick up another victory here in Great Viet, looking to use the momentum they gained from that last game and keep going. And possibly win the next to have Team ID dropping entirely. Just 15 seconds left. As we jump into game number 4 of this matchup here. It's the last game on Winter Malinovka. As we move on to the next round. Question is, can Great Viet keep it going? Or is ID able to come back again? We have to wait and see to find out. And the opening move is again the same. Doha going aggressive on A. ID spotting. Upstep this time a little bit less aggressive. But got spotted here and takes a big shot from Radioactive there. Really good awareness. Doha here, he's gonna take A. IDS once again quick to realize when to move away. Good game sense from that player. And Team ID here making some ground up top. Plody very aggressively. Managed to get this far forward, and Radioactive here taking the first shot. Very lucky there from Plody to get that shot to bounce. And the first shots here are being traded between the two 50Us. And IDS here is gonna cap C. A bit late, so they will be behind in caps by so much that even a kill might not actually turn this around here. As it will be 90 by the time they finish the cap. Yep. And so far hit points are equal. Campon here a bit out of his way on his own. Both teams here are playing passively though, and we see the first rotation here from Great Viet. Their defenders, the main core of this setup, rotating around, making their way up top, and IDS is going back again, linked here, holding up top on the windmill. And we have Iron Jesus up here. And linked actually getting spotted there. Quite surprising to me. IDS here, very risky plays from him. Oh, locked down from Huskar though, who bounced on the upper plate. Very Fortunate result here from IDS. Very close as well. And Team ID as well, rotating around. I'm able to put in some greater shots now. Lali and Game here. Able to rotate without being seen. And RNGs aren't gonna spot him late enough. Lani here. He might have an issue crossing and lose a lot of hit points. But he does not lose any whatsoever, and RNGs is down to a one shot already. But is still alive. And Lani, he needs to pick up the kill. But he's unable to, and also Linked not able to hit a shot. And Team ID here in a little bit of a troublesome situation, but they have the hit point lead right now. Iron Jesus is out. But Kampon is low. Harm King is out. There goes Kampon though. And the defenders are slowly starting to arrive here. And Plody, he's getting lower and lower with each time. But he's not the first target of choice here, and Lani drops as well as Sarkano. Those defenders here need to go in and start being useful. Doha here, he's making a break for it. But he's losing too much hit points here, and look at that focus fire. Dying instantaneously. The goal was to pick up Plody here, but he's still alive. Oslo here bounces the shot from IDS, but will fall. And I'm not sure what Dubstep is doing, but he's not using his hit points. He was just sitting there, waiting for the demise of his team. And Team ID able to come back around here. Are gonna go into a 3-1 lead here. Ending the game in a double victory, killing all, and winning by points. Why is it Lucario if his name is Lecario? It's written with a 3. Isn't that a replacement for an E? Why? Why? Why do you keep letting me say Lecario when it's actually Lucario? Are you insane, people? You really are not the nicest. It's the same with Yogain. Like, what? Help me with these names. Jesus Christ. Alright. This could be our potentially last game right here. As we move on to Middleburg. And looking at the guesses made in chat, there were only 2 people calling for a 4-1. 3 people for 4-2. Let's see what will happen. Is Great Red here able to pick up a victory? Because they need to. And if they don't, Team ID here will go out and win the Asian Summer Season Championship in Tier 8 on Middleburg, or potentially last game. And let's find out. As we jump into our third map here. Really interested to see, is Great Red here able to turn this around? Or will Team ID steamroll them and win this game? The lineups have not changed since 2 matches. Maybe even 3. Let's see what the results may be here. IDS the only light tank. Going downwards? Gonna be the one capping as it seems, and Great Red here is making a full commitment onto the city. Not sure, IDS, what are you doing here? If you're not capping, then why are you down? As no one is capping C here, Great Red is gonna get a good amount of camp lead. Dug themselves in. Look at that. They are all in within one sector, basically. IDS just now getting C. Camp on here. He's gonna get into a huge amount of trouble if he gets spotted and tracked there. And Great Red here being very cautious. Here's the B cap, that is the sign. And the defenders, as well as the 252s, are going in, and Kampon spots most of it. And here goes Great Red onto Gayam. He is the target here. And it's all about Team ID's reaction. And they stop? Why do you stop a push when not everyone on the enemy team is here yet? This is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. If you push, you need to commit to the push. You need to go in as well. Because you're giving your enemies time to form a defensive line and pick you apart one by one because they know where you are, but you don't know where all of them are. That is why a push is so good. Because it gets them unprepared, but they are preparing right now, as you can see. And Great Red here is losing a huge amount of hit points and are getting pincered here. With Radioactive here, Game and Link there, Lani and Kampon there, and Plori over there with IDS there. There's just too many angles that Great Red is not able to cover here. But Team ID is actually losing on hit points here. 2 tanks dropping here, Huska and Lani. And it is about focus fire, and Radioactive is actually out here. And Great Red might still have a chance. Kampon bounces on the ass of the 252U here. The 252U dropping. IDS here very low. And Linked. Is he able to pick up the kill here? He's aiming and he uses the HE. It's very close on hit points. It's a 5-on-4. It's a 4-on-4. There goes IDS here. And Great Red actually turning this somewhat around. With some better focus fire here. There goes Game. Dubstep here will get picked up by Kampon. And they left the defenders alive. The ones with the DPM. Which is the biggest mistake you can make. And Great Red here winning. Even though they did make a massive mistake. With not continuing to push. And Kampon here. Just holding on. Not gonna hold on for too much longer though. As Doha, he will pick up the kill here. And end the game. And we will see at least another game here. And Doha. And Dubstep here doing good amount of damage. That's what I mean. You need to focus down DPM. If your team doesn't have DPM, you need to focus the one on the enemy team. And that was those defenders. Leaving them alive was crucial. Not continuing to push from Great Red was also crucial, but they did not get punished for it. So it seems to have worked out for them in the end. And we will see at least another match here. And Great Viet has turned it around once again, giving themselves a chance here. No lineup changes here. Radioactive just going for a T-32 now instead of a Chimera. Nope, never mind, he changes back. And let's see, is Great Viet able to put up another victory here and win to make it to tiebreaker? Or is Team ID able to shut them down before that happens? Let's find out what of the two things will be the final result of this match here. It is all about first place in the summer season of Tier 8. And the call is to go up for Great Viet here. Different to their lineup before and strategy, the call is to go up and over. And 1-2-5-TU here. Most likely going to cap. And even Team ID moving upwards. We only have IDS capping a Implodey here, going very aggressive down below. Has outspotted dubstep here, which is very hilarious. As Doha is entering C. Nope, he's not. He's going for Plody here. And wasted some time capping. Giving ID a chance to catch up here. Especially in points. And they did get C. And Plody here in a bit of a troublesome situation. Can't do much against Doha there. Other than wait now. Also Huang is spotted Kampan here losing hit points. And he's just straight up going in. He is giving absolutely nothing than just let me push through. And it works. And Huska here loses an immense amount of hit points. Team ID here is surprising Great Viet. And look at the hit points depleting here. On the side of Great Viet here, they do lose Plody. But Huska is down and Sorcano is down to a one-shot already. And they are trapped down below. The defender here getting focused. And Lani on his hunting trip here. Doha as well, down to a possible one-shot here. And this is Team ID's game. I do not see them lose this. They have full control of the ridgeline. They have a tank lead here. As soon as one of these low HP one-shots will get picked up. Which will happen, but Link here wasting a lot of hit points. But still, the difference is just too big. It's 2,000 here. Zakano drops. Lani here, not able to pick up a kill. There goes Oslo, there goes Dubstep. And this game is over. Iron Jesus is here holding on for dear life. We also have Game on the other side here, just absolutely denying that. Linked goes down to Doha. And Huang here getting targeted. Doha here hiding from Lani. And I'm gonna win by points. And Team ID, they take the first spot. They win the tournament. And a GG. to both teams, but Team ID here coming out on top and wins the tournament. Hasn't updated yet. And this is the final placement. We have first place Team ID, second place Great Viet, Feast in third, 101 AD in fourth, and then fifth and sixth here Act and Hasta La Vista, and Team ID second team, and XR getting 7th and 8th. Team ID here getting a bit more payment in terms of money. And Fujit currently streaming here. It's a bit too late if you haven't checked it out yet for the rewards, which aren't actually shown here. But I think the prize pool is... I don't know how much it is actually. But it was Team ID's victory. And let us have a check on who did in the end predict this outcome. As we made a small bet earlier. It was Hunter who has guessed 4-2 first as well. Daniel with a 4-2. Oh, so it was only 2 as Daniel said it twice here. So Daniel and Hunter earned themselves a rare Smarty roll on the Discord server. And let me just distribute them once I find you both on this server. That is gonna take a while. There's a lot of people who joined recently. There's Hunter. Rare Smarty. Now it's all about finding Daniel. But he has showed it too recently, so I can check. Until I find it. There we go. Both of them did not have the roll yet, so that is great. There we go. You have received your reward. And congratulations to all the teams of the Asian tournament for participating. And for those who managed to get this far, and especially Team ID on winning. And what a game that was as well. Very interesting games as usual. But this is it for Asia. There's not gonna be any Asian tours in the near future. I believe, at least, as my apprenticeship pretty much plays against that, well, as I'm not home during the times these games are. I don't know about the autumn season. It depends on how my school is scheduled as well. So I'm not all too sure. I might do a couple streams though. We'll have to wait and see, and depending on when they are as well. I will stream more EU though, later on today. Of course you can watch Amunet for the rewards, I am fine with that. But for those who like my commentary, are free and welcome to watch me again in 5 hours. As we will see who will win between Elm and Endgame, who are fighting over going to the final stages or the final match. And the loser will get third, and Raid, who's waiting in the grand finals, secured themselves a second place, fighting for a first. And yeah. Don't have anything else to say really. It was a great time. I had a lot of fun streaming Asia. These past 4 weeks were really great. Especially the community of Asia. Really fun to talk to, really enjoyable as well. Seeing them in chat, interacting with you guys, really made this even better and more enjoyable. And yeah, I did like that. And I will definitely stream a bit more on Asia in the future. It just depends on how I can manage that in time, as that is gonna be a bit of a trouble for me. And yeah, don't think I have anything else to add at this point. Other than I hope you enjoyed this commentary on my Asian ascents. I will make a playlist of all Asian tournaments that I've streamed of the season. I'll probably call it Summer Season Asia, and I will make one separate for EU, so that if you want to maybe rewatch some highlights or something else, you can watch them back there. I haven't made it yet, I will do so though. And yeah, that is basically it. I hope you enjoyed it. Feedback about my commentary is always appreciated. No need to talk about the graphics, I'm getting a new PC soon. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Was a nice time, and see you all again next time. Bye bye.